Today I'm sharing another vintage book haul. So recently I shared a little free library book haul, and this is connected to that because on that day my husband and I went around some little free libraries. I had a whole stack of books to donate. And so we went around town to our little free libraries and kind of exchanged some books there. So I've already shared that. But on that same day, we went to one of my favorite thrift stores where they have great vintage books. And I love the old books. So I thought I'd share those with you today. I think I ended up spending like $11. But here's the thing. At this particular thrift store, when I went to purchase the books, I'm like a member of this thrift store because it's for an animal shelter in our area. So they have these special perks and things. So when I went up to pay, she told me that I had a $5 coupon. So the next time I go, I will have $5 off. So I'll get $5 worth of books for free next time. And I'm sure I'll be sharing more of that later on when I go back to the store. But these are the books that I found just recently. So the first one I was really excited about because I loved the first Mrs. Polyfax book, and I'm trying to collect all of them now. And this one's called A Poem for Mrs. Polyfax, and it's by Dorothy Gilman, and I am going to try to read all of these. So when I found this little copy, I had to pick this up. So the next one I found was Only a Novel, The Double Life of Jane Austen. I think this is a biography, and I have never heard of this book before. Let me know if you've heard of this one, but I had to pick it up because it was related to Jane Austen. So of course I picked that up. Then I found this. Now this is, I don't even know what this is, but I just picked it up because of the cover. It says Model A Mule. It has a little award over here, so I'm not sure what that is, but look at that cute cover. I just couldn't resist it. It's a wraparound, so it's all the way around it, and it's just super cute. I don't know what this even is about. I'm assuming it's about the car on the front, and it's, you know, a slim little book, so it shouldn't take me long to try this one out. It also has some cute illustrations in that one too. And then, oh, this is one I was really excited about because I have mentioned before how much I love the Mrs. Polyfax and then Miss Marple. And so a couple of you had mentioned this series that was similar. They said if you like Miss Marple or Mrs. Polyfax, you will enjoy this series. And it's called Miss Seton at the Helm. I think the series is called Heron Carvick's Miss Seton. I think that's what it is. Seton, for you that aren't Southern. I'm saying Seton, but it's Seton, I think. Anyway, Miss Seton at the Helm. It looks really cute. I was really excited to see that one on the shelf. Again, this was just, you know, I think it was 50 cents for this book, but I was excited because I've never even heard of this series, and I never would have picked it up if one of you hadn't mentioned it. So thank you for that. I'm excited to try a new series. And then I found another Agatha Christie, and if you follow my channel, you know that I have to pick it up if it's Agatha Christie. This is a vintage copy. It's called The Golden Ball and Other Stories. Look at that fantastic vintage cover. And of course, it's a short story collection, and I don't have this in my collection, so I was really excited to find that one. I also found another Anthony Trollope. Now, I don't have too many Anthony Trollopes on my shelf, but I know he's written a whole lot of books. This one's called The American Senator, and it's in that World's Classic edition. I like the cover of it. It's in great shape, and I'm always looking for more Victorian literature to add to my shelf. Let me know if you've read this one though, because I haven't heard anybody talk about this one before. Again, he's written so many, and there's so many to choose from, but with it being 50 cents, I thought I would add that one to my cart too. And then I was really excited about this hardcover of a Victoria Holt. This one's called The Secret Woman. I've never read this one, but I do enjoy Victoria Holt, so I was excited to pick this one up. Again, it's in great shape, and I could add that to my Victoria Holt collection. And then I was really excited because Miriam, I'll leave a link to Miriam's channel below, but Miriam had mentioned, I'm pretty sure she's the one that mentioned this. I sometimes get it confused, but I'm pretty sure Miriam read this series and she enjoyed it. And that is the Foresight Saga. And I found all three, I think this is it, I think it's a trilogy, all three in hardcover. So I was excited about that. So I'm not sure what order they go in, but this one is called To Let. This one is The Man of Property. I think this one might be first. I'm not sure. And then this one is called In Chancery. So I was excited because they look like they've never even been read. I mean, they're in great shape. And I was excited to get all three in the same edition and I could try those because I'm pretty sure it was Miriam that had mentioned that she really enjoyed that series. And I've heard other people mention it, and I think they've even made like an adaptation of this. So I want to read that, and then maybe I could watch the adaptation. So this book, I didn't buy that particular day. What happened was I picked up some magazines while I was there, the Birds and Blooms magazines, because I love those magazines. They're all about birds and blooms, all kinds of flowers, and they're just beautiful. They have beautiful photography, and there's a lot of information in them about how to attract more birds to your yard and how to take care of your plants in your yard. So I love that magazine. So after I had picked up a couple of them, I told my husband, I said, if you're back downtown anytime, stop back in there and pick up a few more of those Birds and Blooms magazines because I love them so much. So he had to go to the grocery store at some point, and so he went in there and picked up, well, he picked up I think every one of them they had left, but he also found this for 50 cents, and this just made my day. When he knows me well because I was so excited about this. It's Birds of North America, and it's an illustrated guide to identify the birds. So I have a little South Carolina bird identification book, but it shows like the male and the female, and that's it. This one shows it at every stage of life and every variation. So this is even more detailed and in-depth, and it's a vintage bird book. So of course, I love it. And for 50 cents, of course. And so he saw this and immediately thought, yep, she'll want that because I'm always trying to identify the birds in my yard. I'm constantly using binoculars, using my little bird app when they sing, and I just love it. It just calms me to sit out there and watch the birds. So this is another one that I could add while I'm out there studying the birds in my yard. So I was pleased as punch for him to pick that up for me. I also wanted to mention a couple of other books that I did not find at the thrift store, but I did pick up because you mentioned them to me. One of you had mentioned that I should try Dorothy Eden. So I found a book by Dorothy Eden called Winterwood. I'm excited for this. I love the cover. It looks like a gothic suspense, which is my favorite genre, so I was excited for that. And it doesn't look like it's long, so I'll probably get to this one soon. I can squeeze that one in. And then one of you had mentioned MMK's Death in Berlin. That someone had mentioned that they'd really enjoyed this book for me to try it. So I picked up a copy of that too because you had recommended it to me. So thank you for these recommendations as well. I just love all the recommendations. I try to keep an ongoing list when you do that. And yes, it's getting longer and longer, but I love it. So keep them coming. If you see a book that I mentioned that I'm just in love with and you think, oh, that's like this book I read, please comment and let me know about that. And then finally, I found this book, Airs Above the Ground, when I went to that thrift store by Mary Stewart. It's a great copy. Now, it is torn right here, but it's not a big tear. I think if you paste that down, it'll just sit right there like that. But it's a beautiful copy, and it has the dust cover, and it also is in great shape on the inside. It's a beautiful book, and I already have this, but I thought one of you might like it because I know a lot of us are Mary Stewart fans. Or if you haven't tried Mary Stewart, you might like to try her. So I picked up this copy to give to you in appreciation for all the comments and just wonderful encouragement you give me. If you are interested in this book, just let me know in the comments. You know, say something like, I would love a Mary Stewart book or something like that, to know that you would like the book. And, you know, if nobody wants it, that's fine. I'll donate it. If one of you does want it, I'll mail it to you. But if several of you comment that you would like the Mary Stewart book, then I'll just draw from a hat and give it to whoever I draw, okay? So anyway, I just thought that it was a great copy, and I love that one. And if you would want one on your shelf, you could have that vintage copy too. So those are the books that I've picked up recently. Have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.